哦，就可以预测。 some resin.
It's so
Just
gross.
fill it with cream and sugar.
Ugh.
We're live now, so just so you know.
So you had a very valid take on
Attention.
how coffee is gross.
Attention, coffee is disgusting, and everyone is just
Gross.
pretending to like it.
Okay. This mug has
If you
coffee
want-
in it, and this is a portent of the future.
If you want if you want energy, just drink Fanta. We're not sponsored, but it's great.
Wait, Fanta? You mean the soda that was invented in Nazi Germany?
Yeah, but it tastes good. It's fine. What
If you want energy, just
creating
like never sleep, but
Nazi-
somehow still have so much energy that caffeine literally makes you feel like you're high. Isn't everyone like that?
I think you need to talk to a doctor. Anyway, hi.
Hey, we're here to play
I'm
Burn
just
Bright.
gonna let y'all spin the wheels. All right, so we are here for some Burn Bright. This is our finale. I know it doesn't feel like it. It's been so short. Hey, fun fact: if this is only a 6-episode thing, partially so that it's nice and digestible, so you don't have to be afraid. Don't be afraid. Watch the rest of it. It's okay.
Don't be afraid of the burn. It's your friend.
The burn
Zasper's
is.
not afraid. In
You know,
fact, he's
speaking of
actually
which,
gonna hug it.
Drac, why don't you tell me where we're at right now? What's happening?
You asked the most tired person in this call. Okay.
Yes.
I think we're currently running away from a ship that's firing at, Ex-Ignis. Wait, no, Ex-Ignis isn't on the ship yet. Are they?
Just me. I'm on the ship on my own.
Hellion 420 and Lexi, also known as Legion 68, are currently running away from a ship that's firing on them, because they're trying to get Greaser, who is I don't know what he is. Is he like a mafioso boss? Like, what is he? I don't know.
Criminal.
He's
He's a criminal. He's a criminal that
We're trying to save his life.
Yeah, because the criminal that we were asked to get for the ARC, which the organization kind of work with, but we, and I think more specifically Zasper, but I think we as a whole kind of agreed to help out Greaser because they sort of kind of helped us out when it came to figuring out where the burn cannon is. So we're currently risking everyone else's life to save his. Zasper just got spaced by a omniscient named Kore. And Corey's kind of leading them through space. We saw the ship getting fired on, and Zasper was like, "Hey, I'm like 99,900 something bugs. I could probably find like a gap to squeeze through if I just jumped onto my incoming ship." They tried it and missed, so they're currently just floating in space. Back on the planet. No, I don't think Ex-Ignis is on planet. I think you're on the shuttle, right? Heading back up.
Yeah,
But
Ignis
before
is on
that-
Blue Streak.
Yeah, on Blue Streak. But just before that, Ex-Ignis was talking to an old contact that they don't remember, but they remember him. I think they implied that Hellion 420 had something to do with Ex-Ignis getting killed and forgetting everything, but Ex-Ignis doesn't seem to believe that. So after still leaving on pretty friendly terms, it seems, with this contact, they got an alert from Legion. I think barely anything really escaped because they were being jammed, but they just barely got an alert saying that they were getting fired on. So Ex-Ignis jumped into Blue Streak and is heading back up. But yeah, Ex-Ignis is on the way. Hellion 420 is getting fired on, and Zasper is floating in space in nothing but a force-filled spacesuit.
Just checking my notes. Oh wait, that's an empty napkin. So no, Drac got it right, 100% accurate. Good job.
Yeah, you're just flying through space, holding hands with a demigod. Don't worry, it's going to be okay.
Oh yeah, also like the demigod also said like if he walks into the burn with intention, it'll stop the burn. So Zasper's pretty cool with doing that.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine.
A moron. I mean, yeah.
It was a very touching "you were 100,000" moments conversation. It was
It's very
delightful.
good. It's very
Um,
good.
Just because it was delightful does not mean it was accurate.
I mean, it's also accurate, but it also doesn't mean it's gonna work. I think that's what you mean.
You see what I put up with? You see why this could only be 6 episodes?
Yeah, we all hate each other now.
Yeah, it was actually gonna be like a full-on years-long season, but then we just hated each other. So
Yeah.
like, just leave it at 6, you know.
Yeah.
Us, the British people, poor Nat, the Americans.
Oh, I fit in just fine.
Yeah, no, I've known Nat for probably not as long as all of you, but I can tell that Nat is just as sarcastic.
Oh yeah,
They're-
Nat
they're
can
an
do
honorary
sarcasm.
British person.
Yeah,
I can viciously attack my friends with their best intentions.
yeah.
Exactly.
Can confirm.
Oh wait, we're supposed to have
He does it
best
to me all the
intentions.
time.
Probably too often.
Welcome to Bryte.
All right. So we are going to come back on one quick little moment from last time that I actually think we slightly missed on. Because as Zasper was flinging by Legion 68 in a spaceship in the void of space, holding hands with a very cuddleable demigod, you at one point said that you wanted to send a telepathic message as that was happening. And you never actually said what you wanted to send. It had to be really quick, because you're only close for a short period of time. But
Oh god. So I'm not big enough for the ship to detect my presence. Or
no, not at all.
omniscient intelligence either.
You are invisible to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I sent anything mainly because of that. I'm just gonna send like has it
Giving
gone
you the
right
opportunity
past
to
me?
now.
Yeah. Has it gone right past me already? Is it like coming towards me? Like what is
This is like-
happening in this very moment?
This is as it is, as you are missing it.
Okay, as I'm missing it. I'll probably just say to Helion, because I now remember Helion has a bug in their ear as well. I'm out in space beside the ship as the ship goes by.
We established I can't speak back, can I?
I don't
So-
think so, no.
You're in the cockpit area, not necessarily the cockpit itself, with Lexi, flying away from these pursuing ships. You just hear in Zasper's voice, "I'm flying outside the ship."
Lexi, I just got a message from Zasper. They are flying outside the ship. You picked up any other vessels?
Let me do a bigger scan as the ship rocks with another blast from the pursuing ships.
She is actually still shooting at us with civilians on board. She is a bitch.
Speaking of which, we're going to jump into action turns now. So, starting quite reasonably with Hellion, there are 2 ships following you right now. And I will tell you that you know there's at least one more that has not entered the combat area yet.
Okay. I mean, I think I'm basically going to try and take evasive maneuvers because she doesn't want to necessarily like blow these ships up or anything. She just wants to get away.
Reasonable. So, if you're going to fly the ship, you move to the cockpit, and then I need to tell me where you want to go.
Yeah, so I'm trying
On a more narrative level, because away you can just do. But what are you heading towards? Once
so
upon a
we were
time you were
heading
moving-
towards.
Yeah, once upon a time you're moving to meet up with the shuttles that were going to take Griza off your ship. That might be too delicate of an operation at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, because we kind of expected we would get there before the other ships would catch up to us. I don't know. What else is around? We're in space. What is there?
A very quick scan of the area. You could head down to the planet surface, go blasting through the atmosphere, and hope they can't follow. evasive maneuver style. You could head to the Accord, the diplomatic vessel from Cyprit Prime. There is kind of nearby a pillar of the burn that connects vertically. You could head to that. I'm not sure if you'd want to. To the south, generic south direction. Oh, we rose. Okay. To the generic south direction, there is a asteroid storm, which is a collection of asteroids that are also electrified via very strong cosmic energies. You can literally see bolts of energy jump between them. It's safe and very scientific. I promise you, the science checks out. And then finally, you know that the vessel of the Order of Heroes that Brelcott operates is in the area as well. Which is supposedly where Zasper is supposed to be, but now he's outside your ship.
Flying.
There. God, fuck me.
It's fine.
Was Eravasia on good terms with Celian? Can I remember whether I knew anything about their relationship at all?
They didn't have any connections between them. They both helped big air quotes, get people off of Cypher Prime as the burn was enveloping it.
I think Hayon basically just wants to try and lose these ships if she can. Is it basically impossible to maneuver through the asteroid field?
Well, it's a good old never tell me the odds kind of situation.
Okay, I think for now she's gonna fly very definitively in one direction and then try and very suddenly break away and turn and then head toward the planet's surface to try and maybe do some cool stuff in the atmosphere, fly down to planet level and then try to lose them, because we know our ship is relatively small, so maybe it'd be more maneuverable.
Right. So you gotta fly your ship. Now the default skill for that is athletics, but you might have some other tricks up your sleeve. I have learned this since last time.
Well, I don't have 2 Nova points, so I can't combine with the ship.
Aww.
Aww. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to try and roll athletics to do some was there a big shipyard or anything like that where there might be sort of a few other spacefaring vessels sort of around in the atmosphere, sort of waiting to dock and stuff like that, where I could try and maneuver through them and lose Eravasia a bit or something like that.
Yeah, totally. There's a fairly robust docking ring because this planet is very used to taking on transient people fleeing the burn. For temporary docking. In fact, you were docked at one once upon a time before our ship was being rearmed.
So I think my goal right now is maybe to try and lose them by going through that kind of area and hoping that they again will not fire on civilians or near civilians, and then try to land and get people off the ship and then go back up.
Sure. So, give me... This is an action scene, so it's the push your luck, do it until you'd fail. So, athletics, complexity 2 to start.
Okay. Hey, did the thing.
Yo. So, as you are dipping, ducking, and diving, dodge, duck, dip, dodge, and dive, you enter into the shipyard area, the space starts to get cluttered, and the whole engagement has to slow down in speed a little bit, as it is more maneuver central. Some alarms start to go off as there is they have not stopped firing. They continue to At which point, Lexi.
Well, it makes them
who-
look bad, not me. So.
That does. Or Lexi, Lexi's an MI projection, so she just stands there while the ship's like rocking and stuff, and she's just like rock steady. Like, she says to you, "They must have some sort of reason that they don't want to let Griza go. What did he do?"
I mean, I know he's just like a general criminal, but I didn't think he did anything that bad comparatively to, their entire planet just having been destroyed. Maybe, you like call Greaser and bring him up here or something?
Of course. And she walks out to fetch Griza. Jasper,
Yep.
as your good old time is having, I want to give. Here's another circle. This is your friend. Holding hands in space.
What can I do?
So, one moment. As I am just letting the roll 20 look at the situation. So, as you are floating in space, Corey sees your hand and starts to move with intent back towards the ship. And Corey can just fly, because that's how omniscience work. But the ship is dragging out of space because you gotta speed up, pulling away from you. These ships are flying by, and they're like the size of, to give a contemporary reference, big air quotes, contemporary. Think like an R-wing from Star Fox. A person can fit in them, but it's not like huge. And one of the individuals flying it, who is in Eno, you can tell by the nice splotchy, cute cat pattern, kind of does a double take at the two people, just zoom in superhero style. You can try to get Corey to do things on your turn, to move around. You can also, I don't know, try to jack an R-wing or something. Like,
Yeah, I think
get creative.
I think that's what I'm gonna try and do. Yeah, I'm gonna try and jack this R-wing. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm
no,
cool ready to like bring me as close to the wing as possible. And what can I do? Do I have anything that will help me here? I don't think so. I still don't have any Nova points. Great. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I wanna. Is that? I'm just gonna jump onto the. I'm gonna try and see if I can shoot at the R wing.
All right. So
Just the closest one
Corey's
to
gonna
me.
get you close. I guess technically it's called an interceptor, but like, you call it whatever you want.
I
This is
call
my
it
fault.
interceptor then.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to get right close to it with Corey's help and just start firing. Because this thing is shooting at my ship. I don't know what's going on, but it's shooting at my ship. I'm not a fan.
Oh, the person inside is really what you're shooting at. So go ahead and give
Yeah.
me ranged attack.
How's my luck? Is it bad? Okay, no, it's
Yeah, you
good. It's
hit.
okay.
All right. So you have a laser pistol.
Yeah.
So you shoot through the glass, which kind of diffracts it slightly, and it burns into their shoulder. They will deal a point of damage, because as that is how the game works. And they wince, and they start to kind of shake it back and forth to give you a harder time hanging on, but it's still your turn.
Okay. Am I gonna go for another one? Why not? I don't see why I shouldn't, other than a collapse point. But I mean, this is the finale. If I die,
That's an attitude.
Yeah. Oh wow, 3 ones. Okay.
Well, all right. So I'm not going to take the collapse point, because I am not going to give up the opportunity to have this ship do a barrel roll and toss you off.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And kind of kicks you off into space a little bit. But you're now keeping up pace-wise with these two interceptors. Exignis,
Mm-hmm.
you are effectively in a what's it called? It's there's a fancy name for the module you put on the ship, but basically you're in an external ship. You can move one space for free. You can use piloting to move an extra space. You can shoot things in adjacent or the same zone as you for a point of damage to ships.
Okay.
You're up here.
I'm up here.
You come
yes.
upon your ship, Legion, twisting and diving around this floating shipyard with these two ships in hot pursuit.
But I don't want to shoot the ships is the problem because they're the good guys. Or at least I
You
think
see
they
one of
are.
them do a barrel roll.
Well, now I have to shoot it. No. I'm gonna try and dock with Legion.
Alright, so if you want to try and dock with Legion, you need to get down to the airlock down here.
Okay, so I'm going to move for free once, and then I'm going to and now I'm going to try and move further via rolls.
Yeah,
because that's
and you
always
can
works so
just,
well.
and you can, if you get one roll, you can go under the ship down all the way to the aft near. Because all the near zones are considered connected.
All right. So what do I roll for that, my friend?
The kind of go-to for flying a ship is athletics, but if you can justify something else, that's fine.
No, let's do athletics. I'm sure it'll go well.
Like, computers is often done. That's not uncommon.
Pass.
Yeah. Oh, nice D4.
Thank you. I needed to do it just to get one more Nova point, so I thought I might as well.
Gotcha.
Sweet. And now I'm gonna dock with the airlock.
All right. So that process begins, but will take until your next turn before you're fully inside. So they can like shoot at you in the meantime.
Oh, well, I'm sure that'll be fine.
I mean, they wouldn't just shoot at poor innocent space shuttle, would they? I mean, what did Blue Streak ever do wrong?
Contain me, apparently. That was its first mistake. Yeah, I think that's all I can do for this turn.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna
collapse point.
I'm gonna open up a channel. Can you stop shooting, please? There are innocents aboard. That's it. And then I close off the channel.
Hey. Can you give me like an empathy?
I'd love to. But the complexity's gonna go up, right?
Yeah, it'll be 3. Oh, look, you have a D12. It doesn't matter.
It's very difficult for me to get a failure on an empathy roll. So yeah, I succeed.
So, as soon as you turn off the comm channel opens back up. It doesn't just auto open back up. It like asks to open back up.
Click it open.
Just give us Griza, and there's nothing else bad that needs to happen.
I'll see what happens when I can get aboard. But just stop shooting. And now I wait for the airlock to open to this tiny doored ship.
Yeah. Hellion, I kind of jumped away from your turn after one action because I felt an appropriate time to bring in Zasper and
That's fine.
Ex Ignis. But do you have anything else you want to do now?
Well, she wanted to talk to Griza.
Oh,
was the
on
main
same
thing.
Turn? Like they gotta run across the ship and stuff.
I mean, that's fair, I guess.
I do think you get a message from Lexi over the comms that Blue Streak is docking. Wait, Blue Streak's a transformer?
I thought you knew that, and that was why you chose the name. Nat looks very disappointed.
Wait, so Nat, you chose the name, but
Well, that's a
I
great
didn't even know
friggin'
the
finale,
Transformer.
folks. We'll see you next. We'll see you never, I guess.
I mean, he's a pretty nondescript shit transformer. So like,
that just proves that Nat is a super fan. Like Nat knows even the obscure Transformers.
Continue.
Whose turn is it?
it's mine. I'm just
Okay.
enjoying watching Nat have a crisis. So
He's just basking in my pain.
Nat, would you like a hug?
too bad you can't
Yes,
have one.
but COVID.
Okay. So wait, where is the ship currently at? Did I just manage to like dodge through a bit, or am I like landed at this point or anything?
You're dodged through a bit. You could land, but landing is a tricky proposition with fire incoming.
Yeah. She's not gonna land until like she's just not gonna land right now. I'm gonna basically like keep trying to confuse them and like wind my way through areas that are like harder for their ships to get through than mine, and hope I can eventually lose them while I buy
Sure.
time to have a chat with Greaser.
So I'm going to level with you. You've already evaded the two attacks for this round because Ex Ignis did one with empathy and you did the other with dodging.
Okay.
There's only two of them. Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I tied my hair back and I forgot, so deal with it.
So whatever you want to do, you don't have to worry about getting shot this round.
Okay. I'll open up a channel to Ex Ignis if I can.
Sure. They may be jamming, but like that's inside your ship at this point.
Yeah.
Hello.
So they want Greaser. They won't stop firing on us. I've told them there's innocent people in the ship.
I told
just
them
gonna
the
try
same
and
thing.
lose
They
them.
stopped firing.
Well, you're always better at talking to people.
Yes, I know. They told me much the same thing. What I'm thinking is that if we turn the ship around, we can get Greaser out through Blue Streak before anyone knows what happened.
Good idea.
I know.
I'll try and take another way around.
Just do a barrel roll like that ship did. Sure it'll end well.
I'll meet you quickly. I'll close the channel and I'm gonna head towards Blue Streak.
Fucking Blue Streak.
You did this to yourself. You did this to yourself.
I seriously thought you knew it was the name of a transformer and it was like a little joke.
Nat's just a super fan. I think they accidentally outed themselves and just very.
Outed myself. I'm very upset about it.
You didn't even know who one of the leads of the Transformers convention in Nottingham is, so. Well, not Nottingham, London. What am I saying?
It's in Birmingham, actually.
No, I knew that.
I'm not too far. from
I knew
Birmingham.
helped organize TF Nation. We've talked enough about it.
I had no idea. That was news to me.
I'm glad
Alright,
to
so-
educate everyone.
Do you want to head downward?
Yeah, I'm basically just gonna try and still not I'm talking as if I'm like navigating a street, but this is in like multiple dimensions. Basically, I'm trying to not take the road most traveled. I am trying to like wend my way a bit so that I'm not like too obviously seen, if possible.
Aren't you in your own ship?
But then you said you wanted to head to Blue Streak, who is docking in the back end of your ship. So I thought you were talking about.
Oh,
walking
sorry, I
across the ship.
misunderstood. I thought Blue Streak was like docking in the shipping bay
Oh no,
like,
it's
of
in your
the-
airlock.
of the planet. Oh, okay, cool. Well then, yeah, in that case, sorry, completely misunderstood. I'm gonna call Lexi and tell Lexi to get Greaser and his like gang towards Blue Streak.
Sure.
Zhang is just his like nephew right now.
Anyone
the-
he gives a shit about who he doesn't want to die, he takes with them.
You mean that nephew of his who's got a very happy trigger finger. Yeah, please get rid of him.
Yeah,
He
please,
has
please
not
get him off this
shot
ship.
anything.
He actually hasn't. He actually hasn't shot anyone.
He keeps threatening though. That does not make me comfortable.
I mean, to be honest, I think we've shot more people than he has probably.
Yeah, but we don't.
I haven't shot
threaten.
anyone because I don't have a gun.
I don't have a gun either.
Good point.
I only stab.
Your whole thing is a gun.
I toss people at people.
How do you shoot people? You got given a rifle, didn't you?
Yeah, but I haven't used it. I just got it last episode. Welcome to Bryte, where we argue about what happened last episode.
It's only been a week. All right, so you're done then?
Yeah.
Excellent. These ships will fly in close. And so will Zasper and Friend.
Ooh. Is it my turn?
Give me a second. I am thinking about what the declared actions of those ships.
Okay.
I ship those ships.
I hate it.
You're welcome.
Welcome to Meme Bright.
So I think at this point, since your ship gets inside, I think they're going to declare to try to surround you. So they're going to try to fly around and get to where you won't be able to escape. But they have been convinced not to actually shoot you for the time being. And I think they're going to send a message to that effect. If you stop, we'll cease fire.
Okay.
Also, Lexi comes back with Griza. And Zelk. Is it Welp? I actually cannot remember.
The
what I
NPC that you
but-
named.
Yeah. I
Like
think I wrote
Blue
it down
Streak.
either.
His name is Megatron.
Please. At least even I know that's Transformer.
I thought that was a Beyblade.
Did you know there's a Transformer called Erector?
Just go away.
He's a crane.
They knew exactly what they were doing naming it Erector.
The people in our poor chat. Those poor people.
Welcome to Transformers chat with Izza and her friends who suffer.
Also, Chad is just Finn living her best life right now.
Fun fact,
Okay.
every single time I try to go to the US, we pass by a factory called Canadian Erectors, and I can never get it out of my head.
Alright, so, Hellion, you're flying the ship right now. They have made an
Yes.
offer for you to stop and communicate and listen. Stop, communicate, and listen. Fight me. You're
First
welcome.
blue streak, and now.
If you do that, we will drop out of rounds. Do you intend to stop the ship?
So wait, did you say Greaser was in the cockpit now?
Breezer is in the cockpit now.
Can I talk to him like before I have to make my decision?
You can talk to Greaser briefly before you make a decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Greaser, why do they want you so bad that they're still firing in a civilian area?
My family has done some questionable things, and Ark really, they don't normally play police, but they're no fan of mine.
What did you do?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Can you just answer honestly? We don't have much time. There's a ship full of innocent people here who I don't want to die.
He does not seem to be giving you an answer fast enough to make this decision.
Do you want me to open up comms to them and stop the ship? Because I will. You have two choices here. Either I surrender or you escape on the ship that just docked with us. That's it. Those are the options.
I feel like I want to ask you to roll. This feels like an appropriate moment. This could be presence. This could be suave.
Okay.
Izzy, you are very suave.
My suave is very good, but if I do presence, I get close to having another Nova point. What's the complexity?
I think complexity. He's on the brink. I think it's already complexity 2.
Do I risk the 6?
Presence is more of you trying to scare him into telling you.
Use your big metal muscles.
I'm gonna try a presence. This might be very risky. Oh, hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Success.
She's a big scary robot.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
He's like his little arms just tapping his carapace, his thorax. It's thorax, right? Something like that.
She just
I
like
don't know my bug.
leans over him, looms over him.
Well, so back in the Cyprit system, some of the other planets got hit a little bit earlier. You remember Mirrodale? The gun that got brushed against the burn and everything went to shit with the Sporezords. A lot of the people who worked there had connections to the Zazcot family, and we were a little reticent to take it as seriously as quickly as we could have. That's all it is, I think. I think it's a personal thing. Now look, I learned my lesson. With Cyprit Prime, I was trying to get the hell out of there. With my people, with everyone.
I feel like there's still something you're not telling me.
This is the honest truth. And Zelk goes, oop.
You put that fucking thing down.
Lowers it a little bit. He's never pointed it at you. Ever.
Sorry, what was the name of the family he said again?
Zazcot. That's his last name. Greaser Zazcot.
That's his, right.
You've met a lot of Zazcots because Kithix have really big families. Like
Right.
the healer, the doctor, Kithik is also a Zazcot, for instance.
Okay. So they want to arrest you for not getting off your own planet quick enough. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I think somebody died who was personal. If you don't think he's telling you the truth, try to ascertain that with a roll.
I would like to do that. What would that be though?
Could just be presence
that be?
again.
Yeah, I think she'll
Empathy
just.
would definitely work, and heck, even perception probably matches.
Actually, you know what? I'll go with perception because that's slightly higher. What complexity?
He is good at lying, so this is a complexity 3.
Okay.
Just
Ooh.
use your feelings.
She sort of like, she like looms over him even further and just stares him down and tries to read his facial expression as she like intimidates him.
Definitely a little more. And you actually don't read it off Griza. You get it because of how Zelk reacts. He's looking at this whole situation, and you know he's a bug of few words, but looking guilty, looking shameful.
Glances to him. I don't believe you, and I think he might know why.
Our turns happen simultaneously, so can I say that I'm also encroaching on my way to the cockpit?
Sure.
Sweet.
You're there now.
Come here with your big empathy dice.
For the record, I don't believe you either.
Oh no, not 2 giant robots. Excellent.
So maybe now you'll want to talk. We want to help you. However, your
Okay, well,
presence
I'm
here has
worried
now endangered everyone on this ship.
Okay, and I'm kind of used to that, and I'm sorry, because I'm afraid if I say why, then you won't want to help me anymore. So I will tell you if you promise to still help me get out of this.
Let me put it this way. If you don't tell us, we're going to throw you out the airlock. All right. I go to pick up Zelk.
As you are picking up Zelk, he's still not pointing the gun at you, turns to Grease and goes, "Can I shoot now?" And he's like waving it down, like, no, he did nothing wrong. Like, leave him. I'll face the music. You know what? It's been a long time coming.
Very sudden change of heart. I still want to know what you did.
You promised to help me.
Talk or airlock. And I pull up Zelk even higher.
Okay, come on. The boy did nothing wrong. You can't extort me with my own family.
Apparently, I'm a cold-blooded killer, so yes, I can.
You look slightly confused by that. Could you roll me something for that?
I feel like that's a presence roll, my friend.
That it's definitely textbook presence, but technically that's your call.
Remember how you said come here with my big empathy dice? I'm not doing anything bad.
You got good presence.
Yeah, pass.
All right. Just fine. I'll change my offer. I'm a man of deals. Don't promise to help me. Promise to help Zelk and Kells and the others that are on the ship from my family.
Your family will be safe.
Okay, now put him down.
Start talking.
So, what I started to say had some truth to it. It does have to do with Mirrodel and the burn, but it was more about we were trying to uncover something. We were getting close. It was less of a mining site. Honestly, Mirrodel was always kind of barren. That's why they probably never found it. But there was a jewel. That jewel actually ended up being the power source for that burn cannon. So I endangered a lot of lives getting it, but successfully got it, and then delivered it to the people who I asked you to steal it from. After finding out that they weren't the people I thought they were.
I see. You know, you could have told us a lot of this up front and it would have helped with this entire situation.
I really don't think that's true.
You knew we weren't going to an ARC facility.
I suspected it wasn't an ARC facility. I didn't know who it was. Is it airlock time for me, or what? You're gonna, there's a little vroom vroom, and Lexi's like, Orvase is getting impatient.
I'll speak to her.
Alright. Lexi does a little, like, almost like she's messing with controls in the air, and then you get it patched through your personal comps.
We're quite busy right now, to be honest.
Just stop moving, and you can have time to figure it out. We're finally having a change of heart, deciding to hand over this criminal.
What exactly did he do, Orvasia? I like they can hear me, so I'm looking at Griza when I'm saying this.
She has a half breath. That's classified, but if you really, really think it'll help you make a decision, I can share if you promise not to let anyone else know.
I can make that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Take it to your grave. Beyond reckless endangerment of hundreds of people back on Miradal is a construction of a weapon that is believed to have been linked to hastening the encroachment of the burn. We want to get to him so we can get to that weapon. Step down the pipeline.
Would you settle for just the weapon?
There was a pause. Care to enlighten me?
If you give me a day, I can get you the weapon, although it is broken.
So just a quick sidebar. We established last session that the burn cannon is on the ship,
Yep.
but we didn't establish where.
Honestly, it's probably in the hold, because the only place where the civilians can't go to. Not the hold. I mean, sorry, the cockpit. Was it
All right.
Sector 1, basically?
Yeah.
So
'Cause
it's
we
just
took the
hidden
oxygen.
somewhere in Sector 1, like...
Maybe there's like, a grate you lift away and there's like a little smuggling nook behind it or
Yeah.
something like that.
Literally, while I'm talking, I like bang my fist on the hull. A grate pops open up, and the weapon just falls into my hand.
We started to dismantle it.
And to be honest, I don't want it remantled.
But ask why you have this?
Well, Greaser here tried to fix his mistakes. We were the poor saps he got to do that.
Not to mention, it's your organization who built the thing.
Coming aboard. Please open the airlock.
Please don't have guns.
Not drawn.
Well, we have a very trigger-happy kid with a very drawn gun.
Are you talking about Grease's nephew? Because he's fine.
Is he though?
Okay, so just, like, do you have a report on this poor man? Does he need help? No. I'll let him shoot you.
So while this is all going on, the ships will have somewhat surrounded the Legion.
I'll stop the ship.
One of them, presumably carrying Arvasia, approaches the airlock. Zasper, during all this shit, what's the game plan here?
I mean, the game plan was to like when Bushik was like docking to somehow, I don't know, because all I need is a space big enough for one run and then I can slip through that. So honestly, the plan was like right before like it connected, I was gonna like try and slip through, cause I just need a little bit of space to do that, right? It seems like Corey can actually is
that
fine in
works.
space, so it's not like they particularly need to get into the spaceship just yet.
You do see that a ship is approaching the airlock, intending to dock, it seems.
Okay.
You could slip in alongside that, or you could just like chew a hole.
I'm not chewing a hole through my ship. Yeah, no, I'll slip on
Fun
in
fact:
with.
spaceships don't commonly have holes big enough for insects to crawl through, because like
Yeah.
oxygen is smaller than insects.
It's more, yeah. Yeah, no, I'll just slip on in with the ship that is docking now.
Cool. As the airlock opens, Corey just flies on in, just alongside the ship. Snaky body in all.
How big
I
is
think-
Korai again?
In Burn Bright terms, Corey is size 1, which is like the medium of Burn Bright.
Oh, okay, I imagined them being massive before, and I've just been like, huh, this entire time.
Considering that they have a motif of a snake, they are very, very large for a snake.
Yeah,
And
that's
to be
fair.
fair, when they were in the crystal, that was a different form, which was much bigger.
Are they larger than
Oh, was it?
Hellion
Okay.
are?
No, you
Interesting, I forgot.
Hellion and Exignis, wow, character names, are both size 2 or large.
Oh, we big.
Large and in charge.
I think once we slip in, take the like forceful kind of spacesuit down, and just let out a weird little buzz that you assume is a sigh, and like just what the fuck is going on?
Apparently,
So as that happens, the cockpit flap opens up, and you hear the buzz of a laser sword as Orvacia points it in your general direction. Says, "I could ask you the same question." She's looking at Kore, who just looks very calm and maybe a little spacey.
Orvacia, please just put that down. Don't wave dangerous weapons around if you don't intend on using them.
She sighs. She turns it off.
Okay, do you want to go to the cockpit? I'm assuming you want to speak to Hellion, and I'm hoping Exignis is on board at this point.
That is the goal. And she follows. So yeah. So everyone arrives in the cockpit.
It's a party.
It's a whole party.
I think Zespo just kind of like crashes, just crashes into like the pilot seat, and just like it's just they don't really have facial expressions, but you can tell they're just like very tired at the moment. They was in space for way longer than any Ronan should be in space with us, like the ship in,
Yeah.
and just kind of turn to face everyone. And I think specifically Hellion first.
Also, in the other arm, so Exignis has this has Zelk in one hand, but also has the burn cannon in the other one.
Yeah, no,
Also, did Kore come in with Zasper?
Kore is like hiding around the corner slightly.
Okay.
You can see like a little snaky tail and one scaled arm.
Oh. Oh. Cute.
Which you might be curious about. That's allowed.
this ship is far too small for all of us.
yeah, no. I was hoping we'd have a chance to at least drop some of the passengers, the refugees off, but we didn't seem to have the chance because
Yeah, unfortunately, we're
you
too
were
busy
shooting
getting
at
shot
us.
at.
Yeah, and I just like kind of turn at Orvacia. What's going on? Why were you shooting at my ship?
Nice endangering civilians you did there. Big fan.
Respect.
I'm sorry, but the delivery there killed me. Orvacia sighs, looks at Griza, and then eyes wander over to the burn can that Ignis is holding. Says, "We had bigger problems to deal with. Please, as promised." She gestures to the cannon.
Right.
Hold on. We plan on destroying the cannon anyway, and it seems like this organization that we managed to get it from seemed kind of linked to Ark anyway.
They were masquerading as Ark for a period. Griza nods. I'm not sure they're actually on. And Orvasia jumps in, formally good terms. Now we would like the machine so we can study it and solve, or try to reduce the damage that's been done. You haven't noticed the burn has accelerated a little bit of late.
Of
Merchath
course.
might not have long.
And as soon as I say of course, I drop the cannon onto the ground. I say oops, and then I step on the cannon as I reach over to grab it. I say oops again, and then I
So
pick
as
up.
you're about to step on it, there's a slight vroom, and it just launches across the ground and down into Kore's arms, who steps around the corner.
Yeah, no, that's my
Kore
friend.
looks at Zasper and says, "Shall we?"
What?
Don't worry. Honestly, it's better in their hands than ours. Apparently, Exygnus, don't stomp on a cannon that is from the burn, that launches energy from the burn. If that gets on your leg, I don't know if it'll be easy to repair.
Yeah, remember
Or
when
just
we were
keep
having this
eating
whole
away.
discussion about how we were going to try and dispose of it safely so that we didn't accidentally shoot one of ourselves?
I
or-
was only gonna step on the targeting ray, so it couldn't shoot anymore. That's it. Do you people not trust me? Honestly,
Is that like an
I
honest
have
question,
spent.
or
Yeah, actually, it is. I've spent effort trusting both of you, despite the fact you have many in-jokes amongst each other, and despite the fact many people consider Hellion to be the reason why I have no memory to begin with.
who
What?
thinks what?
Never mind. Pointless. Look, I am trustworthy, and I am intelligent.
We're not saying that you're not, but we just need to not act rashly right now. Sometimes we're all prone to that. I know I am. So I'm just trying to be diplomatic.
Alexi pulls up a finger and says, "So the docking authority's ringing us, and I'm assuming you want me to handle that?"
Please.
Yeah,
Just
you
lie.
can, Lexi, please.
Oh, I was intending to. I've learned very well from you. And she just kind of turns away.
I
I'm
learned it
gonna
from
ask what
watching
that's
you.
about. I think I can guess what that's about, but yeah, don't worry about the cannon. Kore, that's Kore, by the way, and Jasper kind of just gestures. That's Kore.
Waves.
The black snake tail snakes up from the ground and waves just the tip of it.
Hellion waves back.
Yeah, they're the omniscient that wanted to talk to me.
I guessed
Um,
that from the whole snake thing, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got a plan to deal with the cannon so it doesn't get into the wrong hands again. Because no offense, Orvasia, but I don't know if I can trust you with it either.
Well,
You kind of fired
Jasper,
on a ship
we won't
full of
n-
innocents.
Jasper, we won't need it after we're done with it.
Wait, who says that? Was that Kore?
That was Corey.
Yeah.
Jasper,
Whereas ship
Do you
to
have
holding
some
it roughly like a
explaining?
cannon.
do you have some explaining to do?
We're going to launch it into the burn.
Is that all?
It doesn't seem like that's what they're gonna do. Do you want to
That's
not point
all.
that at our crew?
Points it down to the ground.
I promise they're not gonna shoot. They just they want to deal with this just as much as we do. And like I said, and I think we probably all agree, I don't think we can trust at least Orvasia with this cannon.
I'm not sure we can
Hey.
trust the omniscient either.
Hey,
No
hey.
offense.
Why is I mean
Orvasia
the omniscient
kicks
saved my
in.
life.
Orvasia kicks in and says, "Hey, I am perfectly trustworthy. I just have goals. Simmer down. No, the thing's not going to get fired anytime soon. We're just going to research it. It will be safe."
And
By the
then
way-
what are you gonna do with it when you're done with your research?
Probably destroy it, maybe disable it and put it in a museum. That's not really my department. honestly, people aren't that big on setting up new museums right now. It's not really in this Bryte.
Yeah, no, I understand.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Zelk, just one thing. Zelk, if anybody tries to shoot anyone, please shoot them.
Zelk looks at Griza, and Griza goes, and then he thinks, goes, and like, points at him. Griza points at himself. Goes, nah. Points at everyone else. Thumbs up.
Yeah, no, don't worry, we'll deal with the cannon. Or Avacia.
I'm sorry, I am worried.
Zelk is just kind of hanging there, waving his feet in the air, still being held by Cygnus.
Oh, yeah.
Kore, what do you want to do with the cannon?
Cora looks at Zasper and tilts their head to the side, and Zasper, you hear in your head, did I tell them the truth?
Nah, don't.
This party!
Healthy
What's up with all these
dynamics.
secrets?
I mean, to be honest, I think this is Zasper's first secret or lie on the ship that lies to them constantly. So I don't think any of you can judge.
Yes,
So hello,
we can.
Raiders.
Hello,
Oh, hi,
Raiders. Nice prairie.
Hello,
good people.
hello, Raiders. We're doing bad.
Um,
Can I roll a perception check to see if I can tell that's a lie?
Do you have to roll against that? Like, how does that work?
So let me get a little more out first, because that was as Kore turns through to the rest of you and then projects into the two Peacecraft's minds. It's a Hellion 420, and Cygnus, and just projects. Place is too loud. Jasper will tell you. And Kore starts to float away
Not with the cannon.
with the cannon.
Don't
Feel
worry
free to
about them. It's
do
just
something
too
about
loud.
that.
No, do not leave with the cannon. We're not done talking this out yet.
The situation will get worse.
Okay, at least quiet down. At the very least, it's too loud for them.
No one asked them to hold the cannon.
I mean, I don't remember telling you to take the cannon out where we hid it.
It was either that or let them shoot. You know what? You weren't here.
I'm going to
The
deal with the
Omniscient
cannon.
the Omniscient is now floating slightly in the lounge, looking somewhat uncomfortable and more than a little annoyed.
I'm going to deal with the cannon, but first, can we at the very least drop off these refugees? They've been on the ship for way too long and done way too many barrel rolls for most of their lives.
So, Arabasia, how are you feeling about this situation? We were going to destroy the cannon anyway. It seems the Omniscient wants the cannon gone. So, takes care of things for you.
He looks at the Omniscient, thinks for a moment. Things are basically gods.
Apparently.
You trust it?
Oh, no. But I trust us to make sure it gets destroyed. Because that's what we were going to do anyway.
So you trust Zasper?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick around until I'm certain that the thing is dealt with. But proceed. He puts the laser sword down on the belt. It wasn't activated; it was just in hand, and she just leans against the doorway to the cockpit.
So I assume that means Griza is free to go.
I gently put the Zelk down.
The Zelk.
Zelk looks maybe a
Look at
little
this whole
disappointed
thing.
that he's no longer being held.
My heart.
Oh no.
Ship it.
Looking at Cygnus, let's go.
Orvacia
Once it's
turns and a bigger quarry to follow. Looks at the Omniscient with the burn cannon. Griza's Well, he's a horrible person, but... it's
But the
not
cannon
my
itself is a bigger
responsibility.
priority.
Yes.
So why don't we work together to make sure the cannon gets destroyed?
I'm just
Instead of
hanging
pointing
out
guns
waiting
at
for
each
it.
other.
Nope, no guns required. The only person pointing a gun at anyone is... well... almost Zelk and the Omniscient.
But Zelk's always pointing a gun at someone.
Zelk is Zelk.
So let's unload these refugees. They can get to their shuttles.
Yeah.
And then, together, we will all deal with this bloody cannon. Agreed?
And at the point, Lexi turns back. And the docking authority has been figured out. We have a place to dock and continue unloading.
Thank you, Lexi.
I will. I put my hands on the pilot controls and immediately hack into them. I'll take us down.
Sure. Everyone is flying this ship.
Except Zasper.
Yeah, apparently.
Zelk walks back over by Griza. The Omniscient is still just kind of floating in the lounge. It doesn't seem to like being... they don't seem to like being perceived a whole lot.
Helion's gonna turn to Griza and Zelk and just be like, "You're welcome."
You have my deepest appreciations.
So you'll leave the ship with the rest of the refugees and go your separate ways.
Of course. And, he reaches into his bag and pulls out the container that he gave you earlier that had the seeds in it.
Seeds.
I just, this never went missing, okay? And he just puts it on the ground next to the cockpit. And, I'll go pack up my things.
She just picks up the seeds, staring at him the entire time, putting it in her chest compartment.
Really glad we're friends again.
Piece of shit, she mutters as he leaves.
He is, though.
I cannot
He's such
believe
trash.
I just risked my life for him. It's the right thing to do!
As Griza and Zelk go away, right by Orvacer, who's still hanging out in the doorway, it's just the moment where they look, and Griza just smiles, and Orvacer is just looking daggers at him. Zelk turns back and looks at Ignis and lifts one arm off the gun, and then back and continues walking away.
Oh no!
The
Bye,
ship's
Zelk.
cannon.
And as you say bye, he instantly turns around and waves, says, bye, and walks away.
I take it back. He's a good kid.
Okay, that's one layer of tension diffused. How's everyone feeling?
I'm feeling good to be back on my ship at the very least. Helen, didn't you get my message?
I did. I wasn't sure there was a lot I could really do about it.
There's
Fair,
a
no,
god in the
There
lounge
was-
holding it.
That-
Holding it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you weren't in a ship then.
No, I was just free. I was free floating in space with Corey actually.
I'm on a ship full of crazy
Okay.
people.
Excuse me, Mr. What was that you just blurted out just now?
The contact
Yeah.
told me that you were. I told him that I didn't believe him, and I don't. I just.
Kind of sounds like you do.
Something is wrong.
This actually seems like a good moment to go to break. We've diffused one layer of tension, and we can come back after. It's a little early, but it'll be fun. We come back, we'll be at a halfway point.
Before we go to break,
Tuesday.
I would like to mention, that over for our friends who live in the UK, the dates have switched, which means now it's Izza's birthday.
Happy birthday, Izza!
Happy birthday,
Thank you,
Izza.
everyone. This is now my birthday stream, which means nothing bad can happen to my character. Ha! She remains Harry on 420 forever. Fuck you, Nat.
I mean, it could also mean you know how you have birthday punches? This could be birthday RPG death.
Yeah, and I'm
Birthday.
scheduling.
How old are you to kill that
420th.
many of your characters?
Exactly.
But it's okay, it can just be Hellion every time.
Look, Ferris just got her kiss, okay?
Yeah,
Hellion
Ferris
is-
can't
That's
die.
basically that's in every movie. That's when you die.
Yeah.
When they-
No, I am not doing the bury your gays trope with Faris. People.
Exactly. We're not gonna do that, so instead we'll kill off Hellion. Great? Agreed. Wonderful.
Agree, let's go.
See you after break.
All right, so we're gonna go on break. It was lovely. We'll be back in like
Happy
10.
birthday is let's kill your character.
It's funny. It's funny. Damn it. Bye. best campaigns ever.
Kill me
Woo?
now. Just end me now. Ow, that's fine. Oh no, a dab as well. Okay, yeah, that's we're just
Ooh.
running into the burn. Zasper's gonna be like, Lexi, follow that burn.
And that's it. The end of the
That's it.
trio,
Turns
right?
burn pillar.
We celebrated Iz's birthday for less than half an hour, and already she's ruined everything.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm proud of myself.
So, we are on a ship. It is docking, so you can get a bunch of people that you rescued from Cyprit Prime off of it because it's dangerous. You have like a demigod named Kore. They're cool. They have a burn cannon. They want to do nefarious things with it with Zasper.
Do they? Isn't it?
I feel like that's the perception. I feel like that's the vibe they've given off to the other two.
Yes, very much so.
Your friend, quote unquote, Orvacia, is here because she was tasked with tracking down this burn cannon and is okay as long as it gets destroyed, and is hanging out to make sure things are dealt with above board therein. Your criminal friend, air quotes again, is getting off with the refugees because you brokered for his life, effectively. Yep, he was a good person.
This will be a new start for him. He's gonna turn his life around.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah,
That's how
instead
it's
of
gonna work.
Now tell me that without laughing.
Well, I didn't the first time, so
instead of creating, super weapons, he's going to create super
good.
vegetables that he will sell at a markup. Because the man will
That's what
always
he
pay
wanted, but a fucking Hellion 420 would not sell him the seeds.
I mean, that's quite literally what happened.
fine. Super chickens. I don't know. Do I have to do all the work for you? Organics.
So, Zasper, Hellion, Ex Ignis, and Lexi are all arranged around the flying console as the ship pulls into dock. We have this beautiful view of Murtath in the background. It has a ring, and then beyond that you can see the burns, Aurora erupting up from up below and above. A nice team shot. The lighting's really good as the ship comes into dock. People start getting loaded off. You have a bit of an escort of flight vessels. But they're playing ball, so to speak.
So, once they're all loaded off,
Yep.
how are we going to destroy the cannon?
By now, Kore has found a nice corner to hang out in.
Are they in the cockpit with us now that there's less people in here, or are they still sort of away from everything?
Just outside.
I think Zasper kind of, I'll say lean back, but it doesn't really look much like a lean back. They're made of bugs, so they just kind of like reform themselves so it looks like they're leaning back in the pilot seat. And just kind of gives a buzz of a sigh. So I guess the plan is to launch that thing into the burn.
The thing that worries me is that it seems to have had an effect to accelerate the burn, so I worry that if we throw it into the burn, it could
Make
do
the burn
something?
worse. Yeah.
But I mean, eventually, no matter what we do with it, I suppose it will be consumed by the burn.
Does anyone have any black holes nearby?
I don't know if we would want to throw it into a black hole either. That might even be a worse idea than just sending it back to where it came from.
I
the
mean,
burn.
they
What about
were
a s-
trying to speak to the omniscient because they felt it might have knowledge of the burn, so I suppose maybe Kore has a reason for wanting to dispose of it in the burn. Could you
What
go
about-
and talk to them?
I mean,
Sorry.
there's always a sun that has no planets orbiting it. We find one near the burn, we toss it in, and then we leave. It gets consumed by the burn for the worst comes to worst, and no one gets hurt because it's a lone star. Or it doesn't, and the thing's just consumed.
I'd rather not risk creating another section of the burn and
Yeah, but
the sun.
if we toss this into the burn, we may just create another section of the burn. By
The
virtue of-
Omniscient knows more about the burn than we do.
That's why I said, why don't we try and
Fine.
speak to them? And I'm sure they have their reasons.
I spoke
just
to
like to
them
know what they
already.
are.
That's why they asked to talk to me. The way to
Okay.
get rid of this thing is to just send it back to the burn.
Zasper, you get a mental message or saying that it has prepared it. It is ready. Time has come.
So above game real quick.
Tuesday.
Mainly because I just have a terrible memory. What was the plan? Was Zasper gonna go into the burn or use the
The
cannon?
Omniscient wanted you to use the cannon to burn you and itself away.
Okay. Okay.
With intention.
Yes, with intention. I think our best option is to go with what the Omniscient suggested and just get close to the burn. Preferably not with Lexi. I think we can use Blue Streak. I don't want to risk Lexi at the very least getting too close to that. But the Blue Streak, I can get it close enough and just launch it into the burn.
I mean, worst comes to worst as well. You can just crawl on inside and we can fly back to Lexi.
Hellion.
Hmm.
Not Hellion. Exignis. Wow. Names today.
Just because we're both peace craft doesn't mean we're all the same.
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it.
You're welcome, everyone. Yes, Nat.
Lexi uses the hacking connection that you had with the ship and sends you a video file.
I play the video file. I mean, it's
The
in my
video
brain
file
now.
is the security footage from the lounge/kitchen where the Omniscient is hanging out. It is time stamped for up the last 5 minutes, and it is sped up. And you can see the Omniscient reaching out into the air, drawing its hand together and forming out of the air little pieces of those crystals that the Sporozoids make, and putting them into the cannon. Because that's what it burns up as it fires. Over the course of the 5 minutes, it fills the compartment.
Oh, he's really making it hard for me to lie here. Okay,
I
cool.
send the file to Hellion without, obviously, thanks to having a very emotionless face, I don't even have a mouth. I reveal nothing, but I send the file to Hellion.
Hellion watches the file.
This Hellion does have a face and a mouth.
Yeah, she keeps a pretty straight face, but she looks at Zasper.
I think
She's
Zasper
like-
can tell there's something happening under the surface here.
Yeah.
Zasper, either the Omniscient is lying to you, or both of you are lying to us.
I'm beginning to think the latter.
Why is it loading Sporozoid crystals into the cannon right now?
Why is it making Sporozoid crystals? That's not destroying the cannon, that's repairing it. Feeding it.
I'm doing everything I can, and I always have, to save the most people.
And what do you think you're doing?
You were the one who wanted to destroy that cannon the most, remember?
We will. And we're going to deal with the burn as well.
You're one conscious, Zasper. You can't destroy the burn all by yourself.
I kind of think I'm probably one of the only consciousness that can. At the very least, I'm the only one on the ship that can.
Why?
I'll never understand organics.
Yeah, you don't.
Yes, because every single one of you thinks that you're the next superhero, the next solution to every crisis.
Because if one of us doesn't at least think that, no one's going to try to be. No one's going to try to actually fix anything.
Why do you think you can fix the burn? What's made you think that?
The omniscient told me. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm special. No, I'm not. I'm a raw man, and that's the only thing really that's in my benefit when it comes to this mission.
And what is the mission? Exactly.
To push the burn back. To stop it.
How? How?
With 100,000 moments.
You're not even 100,000 of you.
Jasper, you can see, because of the framing of the conversation, that the omniscient they have entered the doorway to Sector 1. You can see the crackling, almost like blue shattered glass across their eyes.
What do you want to do with them? I asked Corey.
There's
In Corey's mind, I
something-
just say, tell them.
Alright. When I was woken from the crystal, I had been exposed with this. Burned quite a bit. As they say that, their hands out and the cannon just floats with this slight shimmering force effect in profile. I could hear the desperate moments of those who had been consumed by it. But one mind above the rest. Vila, the Ronan Queen. Could hear her expertise of time amongst the sea of minds and thoughts. And in her last moment, she did not want. She dared dream. Play, fix this. Every moment of consumption from the burn has been captured. That desire to join with others, to be back among those you care. With enough their intent could be reformed in a new direction. Quite literally. We could join with it. Intent. Little moment. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of
So you're saying that if someone willingly joined with the burn, it would reverse the burn?
not someone. Many moments.
Hmm. What makes you think one Ronan is going to be enough? Lots of Ronan have been consumed by the burn.
Conviction of knowledge. None have known so clearly what must be done and what is possible to do. Until now.
There have been people who have thrown themselves to the burn before, willingly consumed by it.
That's not the point. They wanted to get consumed. I don't want to get consumed. I want to push it back. There's a difference.
Trying to understand.
I heard my queen. I heard Raiola.
You
This
heard a dead conscious. You
She's
heard the
not.
last cries of a consumed being. You
Show
heard the
you.
void.
Alright, holds their arms up to Hellion and Exignis. There's a questioning look on their face.
Did they say something? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah, it said, I could show you.
Fine. Take her hand.
Ignis?
Fine.
Alright. So the two of you grasp Horae's arms. And there is a moment as they put their head back. And there's a roiling that you feel. It's like your brain. Oh, your brain. So I imagine Peacecraft view things a little bit differently. But the way you engage in sentience is roils like a maelstrom. It's much different than Zasper's experience, actually. Whereas before it was everything. All of them. All at once. You get this much more concerted, much more refined as the Peacecraft who have been lost. Their data, their memories are the type that your minds coded the way they are interfaced with the best. They are loud and they are present. Maybe one or two thinks maybe I'll be the one that will make it back, be different this time. Others wishing they had made another mistake, they'd done better. You can almost make out the individual thoughts. It's not as overpowering as it was for Zasper. You can feel the other roiling moments of all the others as well. It's just these ones stick out like gems in the sand.
These are the thoughts of dying peoples. That's it.
But I mean, look, I'm not saying that this isn't insane. But if these people died so long ago, how would we hear their thoughts now?
As you
Ronan
sit
Queen was
there-
consumed long ago. Sorry.
As you sit there connected, as you say these words, you actually feel it warping and affecting the memories and thoughts that you are taking in from this connection. You have a certain amount of ability to guide it.
Hellion, if you walked up to a canyon and called something out, it would echo for ages, depending upon the length of the canyon. The burn is an incredibly large canyon, These are simply final echoes, final seconds. I understand why they feel real. These were real people. But that doesn't mean they were right. How many people have you known lost to the burn?
I don't know, I've lost count.
Find your friends. Find people you remember. Ask them. See if their last words change or if they stay exactly the same because they're caught in a loop. Just like Zasper would be if they did exactly what this thing wants them to do.
I guess Helion will try to see if any of the voices sound specifically familiar to her.
Oh, I'm muted. Well, as you're sitting there, looking dead at Exignis, it occurs to you that the story he's always told has been that he got eaten by the burn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she thinks that's nonsense, because how would he come back if he was eaten by the burn?
And you had a very unique opportunity to test that hypothesis.
You know, I always assumed that when you said you were destroyed by the burn, that it was just a issue with your memory since you came back with none of them. Because how could you have come back if you were consumed by the burn? Is that still something you believe happened?
I thought that if you look at my last location logs, they are where the burn is now. I don't know, maybe I did take the Paxton way out, or maybe there was this moment where all seemed lost and I got lost a different way. I don't know, but yes.
As Exignis is saying this, the voice and the visuals are drawing you to one particular bead. Reaching down into that proverbial sand, grasping one brightened gem. And as that starts to come in focus, as Exignis, who is talking to you right now, fades away, Adam Ali, what does Hellion experience with Ignis's last moment?
There is so much I should have told her.
And that's it. It doesn't repeat once you've grasped onto it, but it is quite brief.
Does Helion feel as though she alone heard that, or is
Just
the other
Hellion.
Exignis here?
Just Hellion. You do have an experience where it's not, you don't just hear the words. You also get a sense of, you know who is talking and you know who they're talking about.
No, you can't be here because you're out there. That's...
What? What are you saying?
There is no way you were consumed by the burn. There is no way.
You heard my voice?
Yes.
Enough of this. Enough of this. I pull back from Corey.
Alright, releases both at that point and links back into, like, it seems like doing that makes them not really aware of what's around them. But
This is all
Hellion, you
happening in the
didn't just hear Exigus's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Felt it. It was shouted through your cortexes.
Yeah. It was you, but that makes no sense because you're here in front of me. Like, I knew it was you, and I knew you were trying to talk to me. But that doesn't...
You always said I've acted different since I came back. I don't retain any of the memories. Hellion, what if I'm not... What if I'm not me? Maybe something happened. A body got printed in time, but it just got filled with random garbage instead of the actual personality that it was made for. Maybe I'm not.
No, you don't talk about my friend like that.
Which friend are you talking about?
You!
Not every bit of code makes sense, Hellion. We're getting off topic.
So yeah, what's Zasper? How's Zasper doing with all this?
Zasper just honestly was just sitting there watching them. Just, I think the whole Exignis thing caught them by surprise. Like, oh, okay, that seems like a pretty big deal, but I guess we're also dealing with something else right now. So I think Zasper is just they're just sitting there waiting and watching to see what their reaction is to what they heard or saw and what their thoughts are. I don't know how much of what happened between Hellion and Exignis was like out loud, like everything that happened before. Like they reached in and Hellion heard the previous Exignis.
My understanding is that you heard everything that wasn't projected from Corey into their understanding.
Okay.
But their communications are out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, Hellion is yelling at Exignis now.
Yeah. And so Zasper just there like, so what did you hear? What did you see?
I think
pretty
the
loud
Omniscient is trying to show me what it thinks I want to hear in order to be convinced to let you do this. I don't know.
Absolutely not.
I know what my queen sounds like, and I'm sure you know it was Exignis, right? Even if it wasn't the voice that you heard, you just felt it.
Yes. But I'm sure Corey has the power to make people feel and see and think a lot of things.
Even if it is real, that doesn't mean it's accurate.
And it doesn't mean it isn't.
I mean,
she died.
How do you know that? Exignis, tell me how you know that. How is your
Because
opinion or
I'm
thought
dead.
on this? How is your opinion or thought on this any more relevant than the Omniscience?
Because
The one that's quite literally known and has the powers of the equivalent of a demigod compared to a peacecraft.
Think about it for a second, Zasper. If I'm dead, if the real me, Exignis 2, whatever, is
Your
gone...
Exignis is in the burn.
Yeah. Which means I'm the first peacecraft created ever since the Paxons died off. The first one. That puts me in a rather unique position, doesn't it? Because if there was any way to come back, then I'd be back. Not
How
this.
does that make...
That's the point. None of this
No.
makes sense, Zasper. You're trying to
You
understand
died in
things
the
that are beyond
burn.
our...
You died in the burn. You're the one that's trying to act as if you know what's going on here. You don't.
Your queen died in the burn. Because
No,
there
she
is no
didn't.
coming back. She did. That's how you can hear her. That's how her last moments were captured. And you need to accept that, Jasper. I know that it's hard for your people. I have no experience into your life, but I know it would be hard. That doesn't mean it isn't accurate. You need to accept what happened. We all do. That's the burden of the living with the consequences.
Worst case scenario, I do this, and you're right. I die in the burn. Best case scenario, I push the burn back and save hundreds of millions of lives.
You said to see if it echoed what you or Ex Ignis said to me didn't echo. I just heard it once.
I ran away from my planet, left my queen behind once before. If this is a way to, even if it's her dying wish, at least I can fulfill that dying wish. I'm not running away again.
You won't be able to assuage your guilt by killing yourself.
Need not be the death of the self, but a rejoining.
A rejoining to the greater Rornan consciousness? Because that was what the Queen created for you all, wasn't it?
Was that to Zasper or Corey?
Sort of to both of them.
I'm no Ronan. I don't pretend to understand their experience. But I know I feel the call of all of my people. Thousands of them consumed. I am a bygone artifact of a forgotten time. My era is over. And I will take one last step. Try to save this era. Or I leave. And they look at Zasper. Whether or not I make it alone.
Jasper looks at Helion and Ex Ignis. I need to do this. Even if there's just the smallest chance that it'll work. We can't just keep running and hoping that we'll find another place to land to save these refugees. And we're running out of planets that are even willing to take on refugees.
I mean, they're right. Eventually this thing's going to consume this entire galaxy. We won't be able to outrun it anymore, eventually.
Even if there's just a slim chance. Don't we owe it to this galaxy? Take it? This place has not been my home for a long time, but I remember when it was.
Do what you want. Nothing I say can or will convince you otherwise. Now, if you excuse me, I have a life crisis to figure out. And I leave.
Helion kind of stares after him, looking a bit shocked. And then turns back to Zasper. Are you... You are certain this is definitely what you want?
I'm certain.
I'll be honest, I don't know how to feel about this other than thinking that you're incredibly brave and that I'm sad that I'm about to lose a friend, because I know there's nothing I can say to convince you when you're certain.
It's been, honestly, as annoying as you can be, it has been nice to have you on my ship.
It's been a pretty good adventure.
Exodus
Right?
was all right as well, I guess. But don't tell them I said that.
Oh, I'll tell them.
After I'm gone, I don't think I'll hear the end of it if you tell them right now.
Oh, it's so final. Oh.
There's a very familiar electrical noise as Lexi manifests out of the MI grounder.
I think Zasper just tries not to make contact with Lexi. The whole time just looking down at the ground.
Lexi turns and walks toward you in a very matter-of-fact fashion. Stops. Weaves her fingers together and says, Zasper, if you're going to go away, you have to choose a successor for the ship.
Lexi, come on. I know these two have essentially been more of the captain of this ship than I have since they came on. You don't need to be so formal.
Just name someone, please.
I would like to pass on the title of captain to Exignis and Helion 420.
Co-captains?
Co-captains.
Lets her arms slump. Head down. Brings back up. Looks at Hellion. Captain.
Lexi?
Can I get a moment?
Of course. And I will get up and leave to find Exignis. But also, where has Orvacia been this entire time?
Orvace is hanging in the lounge.
Okay, cool. So she's not in there. Right. Yeah.
No.
Helion will walk out and just her wings kind of droop as she gets into the lounge. She lets the door shut behind her.
As soon as the door shuts, Lexi groups. Looks at Exignis. Who have for a long time you were my only friend.
For a long time, you were my only friend as well. But we picked up a few good friends.
Yeah. I really hope wherever you're going, you'll have some just as good friends.
I don't know. I think it'll be pretty hard to beat the ones I made here, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. I suppose it's gonna hug Lexi.
Yep.
I don't know how that'll work. I don't know if they're like hard light, but they're gonna try.
She has form. You
Okay.
put some bug arms around her, and at first she just is just still, and then the arms come up, and they just dig in, a little like raspy hug, into Bugback.
Just
Vesper.
look after them, please.
I will. Promise. Goodbye, Zeth.
Goodbye, Lexi.
And she just back into my space, just right out of your arms.
Kind of look at Corey. I guess whenever you're ready.
Time is almost right. And Corey slides be next to you. The gun turns, floating in the air. We're gonna pop over to Elian and Exignis.
Of course you are.
So Exignis, where'd you run off to?
I think my room. It would be, right? My quarters.
Reasonable.
Yeah. There's a bed that's far too small. But there's a lot of, like, soft fabric, like, hanging from the top of the walls and the sides, because, believe it or not, Exignis likes a cozy, warm atmosphere rather than a cold metal one. And I'm just sitting on a bed that's clearly, like, permanently curved from the weight it is constantly carrying from this poor dude using it as a chair. Just staring off right in space.
I mean, you probably hear Hellion coming. Metal feet clanging against the ground. So you stormed
Door
out.
opens.
Wouldn't you in that kind of circumstance?
Well, I'm confused and angry with Zasper, but I also respect that they've made their decision, and I wanted to try and say goodbye on good terms.
I'm pretty sure Sasper wouldn't want it any other way. What am I?
I don't know. I wish I could say. I assumed that there was just some sort of glitch when you were brought back, and you therefore misremembered being consumed by the burn.
It was probably an after image. The only thing that managed to get sent over.
It doesn't make any sense.
None of this makes any sense.
So therefore, if none of it makes any sense, why couldn't what the Omniscient's saying make sense?
Don't ask me to excuse Zasper's actions. I'm not going to believe in the same things they do. I'm just not. I understand that they believe in what they believe in. I understand that you believe them, but I don't. I can't. I won't.
Sorry, did I glitch there? Did I skip?
Yep.
I don't 100% believe it, but I did feel an Exignis that felt incredibly familiar.
See,
And
when you eliminate all the options that are plausible, then what's impossible is possible. The afterimage of me getting consumed by the burn, the body being made, but literally no memories passing through. The fact that I know everything a base level Peacecraft should know, but I don't know anything beyond that. I'm not Exignis. I'm
so
just
who are you then?
something wearing an Exignis suit. I'm not your friend.
Well, you know what? Regardless of whether you are the original Exignis, even if you're someone new, then we've become friends, right? Throughout all of this?
No. Yes. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that I'm not an assassin. I was wondering about that.
So... Okay. So what I heard you, Exignis, say was just, there's so much I should have told her. And I knew he was talking about me.
Yeah, he was.
So that is true, that he was...
He had secret jobs. He never let the war go.
I mean, a lot of...
A lot of
Sorry.
us didn't, I know, but a lot. If you put it all together, it does make sense. I don't know if he was the bad guy. You know,
He wasn't a bad person.
I don't think he was either. I just think he was a person who tried to do what he could, and a part of him could never let his original coding behind. And maybe given time, he would have grown past it. But he didn't get that choice. I'm sorry you've lost your friend. Yes, I know I'm still your friend, but you lost a friend. And I'm very sorry for that.
Thank you.
But
It's-
I'm sure he's very happy that that you now know what he was keeping hidden and that you accepted.
I mean, I guess I do. I guess I don't have a choice.
You could hate him. Wouldn't achieve much, but you could.
I can't. I can't do that. But now we have to figure out who you want to be. Because you don't have to keep trying to be Exignis.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to reanalyze myself.
By the way, we're co-captains of this ship now.
What?
Mm-hmm. You're stuck with me forever.
Oh, that's wonderful. Exactly what I wanted out of. I could enjoy this job. I do enjoy this. Running around with you and Zasper. Saving people.
Yeah, I admit I didn't actually take this all that seriously before I met Zasper and thought I'd lost you, Exignis.
Before you did lose me. Him. Is this ever going to get less confusing?
No.
Are you sure you don't want to watch?
I mean, I would like to be there for them.
Go.
Don't you?
I don't think so. I think that I might have seen enough burn to last for a lifetime. As it
Okay.
turns out, I did get consumed by it, in a sense.
Yeah, it's never going to stop being confusing. I mean, wouldn't you rather at least patch things up first?
Yeah, you're right. Lead the way.
Okay.
I can at least say sorry and goodbye and then get the hell out of there.
The
Go
two
ahead.
Peacecraft come back into Sector 1. And you just see Ore shoulder next to Zasper, with the cannon floating in the air with that shimmering effect pointed right at them both.
Can we hold off a second?
Yeah. Yeah. Come to see me off.
Well, we figured I wanted to be there for you, given how you've helped me and been there for me. And she kind of looks very pointedly at Exignis.
I wanted to say goodbye.
The
You afraid?
cannon turns down toward the ground.
Are you afraid?
No. Kind of at peace. No. I'm not running anymore. And whether or not that's right, whether or not you'll think that's right, it feels right.
Okay.
It only hurts for a second.
I think I can take it.
I'm sure you can.
If this does somehow work, I suppose we should say thank you.
If it doesn't, we won't say I told you so. Doesn't seem fair.
Just look after each other and look after Lexi. Please. She was my first real friend.
Yeah, we'll look after her. Don't worry. I think she'll be looking after us, actually, but you know.
Yeah, probably.
She's very bossy, Lexi.
I mean,
Quite
look at what she
judgmental.
has to deal with.
True.
Zasper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, friend.
I think you know what? It's a noble point. It's the finale. I want to use it. Zasper's gonna like use divide and split up, and both halves of them was gonna hug Helen and Exignis's leg.
Yes.
Oh boy, I'm gonna cry.
Yes.
I swore I was gonna cry.
And then they both come back to the spot beside Corey and like recombine. Like all of the individual buds kind of like shimmy a little bit as they get kind of prep themselves mentally.
Alright, turns to Zasper, says, with intention.
Oh, I have intention.
Cannon tilts back up. Seen it fire a number of times. Starts to light up. And a thick beam of the burn, bright as the sun, burns, consuming Zasper, consuming Corey. Probably hitting parts of the ship, but that's not important right now. As you visor against the light, when it fades, there's a clonk as the gun hits the ground. And there's just nothing left.
I just turn to Helene and hug her.
Oh. She hugs back very tightly.
Okay, let's not cause any stress fractures.
Fine. Let's go.
No, we don't need to go anywhere for a while.
Couple minutes pass. You hear the door to Sector 1 open. Orvacia stands there. So the Omniscient was planning to get rid of that gun, was it?
If that thing doesn't get destroyed, Orvacia, I do not care how many of your laboratories I have to tear down with my bare hands, I will.
I know. She strides forward with the intention to pick it up.
Can we accompany you to make sure it gets destroyed? We do have a
Absolutely.
somewhat personal connection to this.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Well, I guess you get free transport with this too, then.
Lexi. And out of the intercom just comes the most unhappy, 47, 38, and 12, 14, 32. Heading. And she turns on her heels and walks out. Ship starts to power up as Lexi sets it to take off.
You ever wish you were an organic and you could just drink?
Yeah. It's the one thing I envy. Being
Lucky.
drunk sounds very fun.
Lucky bastards.
Hmm.
I think that might be where we call our story. We're a little early. There's nothing wrong with that. A few things to microscope in on. I will leave with one little horrible piece. As our camera zooms out of our ship towards the front of the burn, the same moment that Zasper is enveloped by the cannon. You can see the aurora tremble, and then continue forward. I will say, I rolled a percentile. There's a 5% chance.
I fucking hate being right.
That was my first character death.
Well, thank you for doing it with us, Drac. Damn it.
Well, it is burn bright.
Yep.
And Zasper certainly burned. Right.
I think that's why this game had to be the Mimi game, because otherwise it would just be like too depressing.
Yeah.
So we had to inject it full of memes and jokes and puns.
I'll let that be the justification. That's fine with me.
I did you all a favor.
All right. Why don't we start? We're gonna do little epilogues for our characters. Give as much or as little information as you want. You can start smacking the world with a sledgehammer if you want to fuck with things. I don't care. It's fine. If I don't like it, I'll just not put it in my next Burn Bright game. And just what you see. It can be as poetic and simple or sweeping and specific as you want. And because this is the kind of thing you think about, does anybody want to go first?
Drac's got that face on. I think Drac.
I mean, I have like a semi-happy ending, but it really depends on whether or not Nat's view of what the burn actually is even fits it.
See, but here's the thing: is you can sledgehammer it yourself. Just say words. It's all canon now. We have transcended beyond the need for worrying about the lore of the universe.
Okay, I think Exeginus was right. It hurt, but only for a second. And then it'll just like silence, just peace. And then it was really loud. But Zasper got pretty used to it pretty quickly, and they quickly realized why. They started hearing other Ronan, but not just hearing them like they used to, like back before the whole canon incident, but actually felt connected to more than one group of Ronan, and just gradually started feeling that connection, reconnecting with more and more and more, until they realize that they're back with their people, the ones that perished in the burn. And I think they hear, I think the camera, fades to black after they hear the sound of their queen Viola, their voice, and Jasper probably like turns to face them, and just before they make like eye contact, just fades to black from there.
Fury. All right, is it the meme lord or the feels captain?
Which one is the meme lord?
You know the
I am
answer to
both
that
of
question.
I am both of
Yeah,
those
it is
things.
both of those things for sure.
I mean, I feel like there's an argument for like whatever Exignis does to try and figure out who and what they are, like Helion will do it with them.
I think that Ad Astra, because why carry a name that belonged to someone else? No Number, because they've not died once, is going to learn more about Exignis, so he can make a proper goodbye, and then they're gonna do the things that, you know, all Peacecraft do. They're gonna try doing that stupid thing where they die into they jump into an active volcano, and they're going to live Bryte, as it were, for a little bit before settling down and doing what they've been doing up until this point: transporting refugees, meeting new people, and finding ways to make this world, which seems ever darker, a bit warmer. With
That's
their
it.
best friend, Hellion 487.
I really wish you had said like Hellion 422 because I would have had that ready to put on the overlay.
Yeah, I think after they ensure the destruction of the cannon, one of Helion's first ports of call would definitely be, I think there's sort of a science institute on one of the core planets that wanted to attempt to grow samples from the seeds, and she would
Ooh,
personally
I have
make
a
sure.
system ready for that.
Oh,
That
really?
is the system of Bryte. It is a core planet that is very arboreal and all about that growing of specialized plants and fauna and shit.
Yeah. So I
I
think
meant flora.
she would, yeah, Flora. She would go there and personally oversee, like, making sure the seeds make it to the right people, so that at least she has accomplished the mission she set out to do on that trip. And then 100% would be behind. Did you say Ad Astra is the new name?
Yeah.
Making sure Ad Astra gets the quintessential Peacecraft experience, because she used to be the person who constantly only lived Bryte, as it were, and then started to take these things more seriously. Although that element of her personality was admittedly still there, she did go toe to toe with a giant crystal robot by herself.
Yeah, I remember that.
But she is the expert in this field, and she is more than willing to share her expertise. And help them figure themselves out in whatever way they want to.
Hell yeah. When you do find out, you know, like the next day, maybe you watch the readouts on the burn and realize that nothing has changed, is there any moment where you like talk about it or are sad, or is it just like you never even got your hopes up because it was too outlandish to hope that it would end?
I think Helion did let herself hope for a second there, but then she sees the reading, and there's a very obvious moment of dejection, definitely, but she just kind of picks herself up and is like, You know what? That's just to be expected. I shouldn't have let myself.
There was a readout graph, little 2D one, 2D line graph, and there was you map it down to precisely the moment, and there was this tiny little dip in the burn activity, this tiny little like 3% reduction, and there's a moment we look at and go, that was Zasper. A insignificant spike on a graph.
I think I spend that day with Lexi, doing whatever Lexi wants, because this one never had their hopes up. Not even for a second. So instead of saying I told you so or doing anything harmful like that, it's just being for the person who needs it the most, and they believe that's Lexi.
You know what? I think Helion might actually sort of get the data of that graph and maybe send it to a few people who she knows, because having been doing this job of sort of transporting things from planets that have been consumed by the burn to places where they need to be researched or maintained or kept safe, I feel like she's probably met a few scientists or historians or, you know, people in like a researching scholarly capacity. I think there's still a little part of her that is like, I don't want to let Zasper have sacrificed himself for absolutely nothing. So she's going to send that readout to a few people with an explanation of what happened, and maybe suggest that if they were to try and look into it and research a way to create that on a larger scale, she would be willing to take on any job that it involved.
I like that. I don't think it would. So there are some groups of people that probably glom on, like, unfortunately, like the people who worship the burn probably like glom onto that and go like, "Hey, look, it matters. We impacted the burn with a person with thoughts. Let's all do that. We all must give ourselves to the end." But by and large, I think it's a relatively minor but notable piece of data. And maybe in a few more years, when the entire galaxy is just bright in a small circle of burn, maybe it'll give people hope.
See y'all in millennia or 3.
Or next week, we don't know at this rate. It just moves pretty randomly.
Yeah, normally in Bryte, the burn is like, oh, it'll consume the galaxy in 1,000 years. But this game definitely, like, it was hopping speed-wise.
I mean, sometimes there's periods of high activity and periods of low activity. I feel like we staged our game during a period of very high activity, but maybe there's some low activity in our future.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, that was the trio, Bryte.
Yep.
A happy ending.
Yay!
So we're gonna go do our outros in a second, but I would just like to express to each and every one of you that I've thoroughly enjoyed our strange little meme journey together.
It's been very fun. It got very deep near the end. I didn't expect it, but I leaned into it.
Yeah.
Some good
Thanks.
memes and some good emotions. That's
Yeah.
that's what I love in my tabletop games.
What a way to end 2020, huh?
Well,
I'm gonna.
why don't
be
we?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just saying I'm gonna be carrying like the memory of this, and like the depth we explored for a while. So thank you all.
It was a lot of fun.
All right, I'm gonna throw outros down to our birthday girl.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hey, I'm Izza. I played Helion 420, the meme lord. It's my birthday, you can't criticize me for it. Yeah, you can find me Nat. You can find me at Evil Clever Dog on Twitter and Instagram, and at youtube.com/evilcleverdog, where I post cosplay and crafting related videos. I've got a video about making the Stygian blade from Hades coming in early January. So yeah, please go subscribe and keep an eye out for that. If you want to see more of me doing other streams, I am also a member of No Initiative along with Nat. So on Monday, it is our season 2 finale of Quest the Soaring City, which is our quest campaign. That's at 6:30 EST, 11:30 GMT. That's going to be very fun and emotional too, I'm sure. So yeah, and I'm also on the Critical Read Al-Qadim podcast for Asians Represent, along with Adam Ali, which we live streamed the most recent episode of that literally a few hours ago today, but it will go up on the Asians Represent YouTube channel in a few days. So please go and check that out. It is what's the word? I never want to say it's fun and enjoyable, because it is fun and enjoyable, but the content we are reading is deeply problematic. It is work I enjoy doing.
Educational and entertaining.
Yeah. So yeah, please go and check that out if you would like to see us analyze and rip to shreds an old racist D&D book. Yeah, I've had an amazing time playing this campaign. I have really enjoyed playing this system, and doing a sci-fi game and getting to play with Adam Ali and Drac for the first time has been amazing too. Getting to play another campaign with Nat. Yeah, I've loved this whole thing. So thank you.
Going over to, I mean, I'll go next.
Nah, it's my turn, mate. It's my
Okay.
turn.
The order is in chat. You must adhere to it.
Oh, I'm not present.
Piece of shit, Drag.
I know.
Hi, my name is Adam Ali. I played Exignis the third, now at Astra. Well, that's the end of another campaign. This has been my second finale this week, so I'm a bit tuckered out. But that doesn't mean the fun needs to stop here. So next week on Monday, I will be in another game of Bryte. This time it's going to be a one-shot with B and Tracy from the Broadswords, Daniel Kwan from Agents Represent, and another player who's Drac from this very channel. Yeah, that's right.
You're playing with Drac?
Oh my god, yeah.
Wait, you guys are still hanging out? I thought we all agreed we weren't going to talk to each other after this.
Don't worry, well, I mean, we still have to hang out after this.
I know it was a joke.
Right. We've reached that point in the evening where my brain is toast. For Roll20's...
So after we have our characters made, do you want us to jump into the
Twitch channel?
playtest the stats?
Roll20's Twitter. You can find more information about what I'm doing next on my Twitter, at WerewolfFeels. I'm a TTRPG writer and streamer and consultant and organizer, so I have a lot of things ahead of me, especially on Utopia TV, where I joined them as an organizer for 2021. It's going to be very exciting. But fun fact, the Roll-vember doesn't end there for me either, because the Monday after next Monday, I'll also be on Roll20's Twitch channel, playing for the Queen with some of the folks from Asians Represent, including Daniel, Agatha, Steve, myself, Jeremy, who some of you may know as Pixel Grotto, and Emma. And if you know Emma from the Asians Represent Twitch, she's never played a TTRPG before, so this is going to be her first, and it's going to be live, and it's going to be for charity, it's going to be for you, so you should watch. Hopefully I'll see you in the Mondays to come. Other than that, Happy New Year, folks. This is a great way to end the year for me. I'm very happy that we got to do it, and I'm very proud to have played with these wonderful people on this wonderful channel.
I guess I'm next, because Nat is not here to tell me otherwise.
Look at the chat.
Listen, okay? I don't like following directions. I don't look at the chat. I'm the captain here. My name is Draconics, or Jack for short, just because it's easy to say and much easier to spell. It's been great playing Zasper. This was my first character death, and I'll be honest, it was great. Compared to some other horror stories I've heard of character death, this is a pretty cool way to go. You can catch me in the game that Adam Ali mentioned. I think it's gonna be at 5 p.m. Eastern over on
Yes.
Roll20. I'm gonna be playing a Bryte one shot. Same week on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm gonna be playing there again on Roll20. And we're gonna be with Kobold Press. So I'm gonna be with B, Little Red Dot, someone else. My memory is not great. I'm in a lot of games. Let me check real quick. There it is. I'm gonna be with cool. I'm gonna be with Trooper SJP, Lauren from Salty Sweet Games, also known as that Salty Ginger on Twitter, B Zelda, and Little Red Dot. We're gonna be playing a setting called Tomb of the Beast 2. We're gonna be using that setting. I'm gonna be highlighting all the monsters and ghouls that's in that expansion. And from what I've read, I don't know if I'm allowed to actually talk about it, but from what I've read, it's going to be a very fun game. It's going to be wild at the very least. We've got some ridiculous incentives. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Other than that, there's a bunch of other things I'm in, but you can just follow me on Twitter to find them out. The main thing I want to plug and push is that right now, this very moment, over on Friends Who Roll Dice, we're playing a Cypher System campaign, 2-shot. And with some amazing guests, we've got Latia Jaquise, we've got TK Johnson, we've got Bella. I don't know if they're a friend of mine, so I don't know if they use a surname online, so I'm just gonna stick with Bella and Jen, all playing with the GM Alex, who often plays on Open for Adventure, but we managed to rope in to play to run the Cypher 2-shot for charity, which I mentioned many times before on this channel. We're raising money for the Philippines, specifically the ABS-CBN Foundation International, to raise money for the Philippines so as they deal with and repair the damages of the typhoons that recently have hit. Some of them have been the biggest to ever hit landfall in recorded history. And having to deal with that and the pandemic you can imagine that is rough. Some places are barely just dealing with the pandemic alone, let alone natural disasters on top of that. So we're doing what we can to help. We're rolling dice and playing pretend to raise a little bit of money. So if you can, please go over there and donate. If you can't, please go over there and just watch and retweet the tweets we've sent out on Friends Roll Dice's Twitter, which is Friends Roll Dice. And just every retweet you might put on the page of someone who can donate. So honestly, every little helps, whether it's a retweet or money. Just do what you can. Thank you. That's me.
And then it is me. I'm the ancient, I am the land. I have been Nat, the GM for this wild little adventure, and I am very appreciative of it. If you want to see more of this crap with slightly different people, but not entirely different people, you can tune in on 6:30 Eastern Time on Mondays on Chromatic Mirror, right where you're at right now. And for Quest of Soaring City, our finale for Season 2 is this Monday, and then we'll be taking a bit of a break until January on that show, but we will probably have some interspersed one-shots in that time slot in the meantime. People are a little more available during the holidays this season than normal. Can't imagine why. If you want to follow my other stuff, I also exist on Twitter as my main conduit to the internet at CrimeNat, KREIMNAT. That's me. I do like some writing and stuff, but you don't even know about that. If you're like one of the 6 people who are still here, I appreciate you. And
should we,
yes?
For the final time, talk about our sponsors?
Oh God, yes. I almost forgot. I put it in chat like it feels like a decade ago. We are here at Chromatic Chimera, are sponsored by Pelgrane Press, the creators of 13th Age, Quest RPG, Adventure Game Store, Heartbeat Dice, Tabletop Loot, Artisan Builds, a bunch of lovely sponsors, and of course, relevant to this game, part of the Roll20 Spotlight program. Burn Bright, Roll20, they go hand in hand. Yeah, it's good enough. It was kind of a shit job, but it's fine. Shall we raid friends who roll dice?
Oh,
I think
Definitely. Yeah.
Although there may be, we may be breaking the space-time continuum because Drac is. You know what? Let's risk it. Let's risk it.
It's fine. The burner's coming anyway.
it's
Literally
fine.
just friends who roll dice, right?
Yes.
Raid coming. Three, two, one. Have a great Tuesday.